Here we have a red 1972 Chevrolet C/K Series C10. Long abandoned and rusting in a junkyard, its history hidden beneath layers of dirt and corrosion. The paint has flaked and faded, revealing decades of weathering and neglect across the truck's once pristine panels. Cracks in the windshield scatter sunlight as dust drifts gently, showing the quiet toll of years outdoors. Opening the driver's door, we notice the creak of rusted hinges, a reminder of the truck's inactivity and the work ahead. Inside, the torn bench seat and dusty cabin tell the story of a vehicle forgotten, waiting for careful restoration. The engine bay is coated in grime, oil stains, and corrosion, hiding the classic V8 beneath a layer of years. Wheels half buried in dirt are brushed slowly, revealing the metal structure beneath and preparing for restoration. The oxidized Chevrolet C10 emblem is carefully wiped, showing the first glimpse of metal restoration. The truck is moved into a clean workshop, the controlled environment giving us the perfect setting to begin the rebuild. A pressure washer sprays water across the tires and lower panels, starting the transformation from dirty to clean. Water flows across the roof, removing decades of mud and dust while highlighting the original contours of the C10. A thick layer of foam covers the hood, softening the dirt and preparing the surface for gentle brushing. A detailing brush glides slowly across the soapy surface, each bubble popping softly and cleaning thoroughly. Wheel spokes are scrubbed carefully, removing grime while revealing the underlying metal structure. The chrome door handle is wiped with microfiber, starting to restore its original shine. The undercarriage is rinsed, dirt falling in slow streams, making the chassis ready for inspection. A final rinse removes remaining grime, showing a cleaner but still weathered truck body. Panels are hand-dried with microfiber towels, absorbing water and preparing for detailed work. The interior cabin begins its teardown, bolts loosened slowly to avoid damage and preserve all components. The bench seat is lifted out gently, dust falling as we reveal the bare floor beneath. Old carpet is peeled back, showing accumulated debris and preparing the floor for rust inspection. The floor pan is exposed, rust visible and ready to be treated in the upcoming steps. Door panel screws are carefully removed to allow access to the interior structure without damage. Dashboard knobs are unscrewed and labeled for safe removal and future reinstallation. The instrument cluster is disconnected, with wires carefully labeled to maintain proper functionality. The steering wheel is slowly pulled off, showing the column and preparing for a full interior rebuild. A vacuum removes dust and small debris, leaving the cabin cleaner and ready for detailed work. Compressed air blows particles from corners, ensuring a thorough cleaning before rust removal. The empty cabin reveals bare metal surfaces, a perfect canvas for the next stage of restoration. An angle grinder removes surface rust from the floor pan, revealing solid metal beneath, preparing for repair. A wire brush scrubs the frame rails, dislodging flakes of rust and smoothing the surface for protective coating. Chemical rust remover is applied gently to stubborn spots, neutralizing corrosion and preserving the metal. Hands run along the cleaned frame, checking for smoothness and ensuring a solid foundation for suspension work. Suspension bolts are loosened carefully, beginning the process of removing worn components for replacement. Control arms are scrubbed and sanded on the workbench, revealing clean, reusable metal surfaces. All suspension parts are organized on labeled trays, keeping the restoration process efficient and precise. Protective coating is sprayed evenly on the frame, forming a matte finish that will prevent future rust. The chassis rests under workshop lights, allowing the coating to cure and stabilize before assembly. The freshly coated frame is wiped down with a microfiber cloth, checking for smooth, even coverage. Old suspension bushings are pressed out carefully, preparing for installation of new components. New bushings are pressed in slowly, ensuring a precise fit and long-term durability. Suspension components are bolted together on the workbench, torque applied evenly for safe operation. Brake lines are bent and formed to exact angles, preparing them for installation under the chassis. Brake lines are clipped and mounted carefully, ensuring proper routing and function. The differential housing is cleaned, removing grime and inspecting internal components. Axles are polished and reassembled, restoring smooth mechanical function and surface finish. The rolling chassis is carefully moved across the workshop, ready for engine installation. The V8 engine is lifted gently using a hoist, preparing for detailed rebuilding outside the truck. The engine block is mounted on a stand, bolts tightened, providing a stable platform for work. Valve covers are removed slowly, revealing the internal mechanisms and allowing inspection. Dark oil is drained from the engine, showing accumulated residue and preparing for clean assembly. Pistons are extracted carefully, keeping components intact for precise rebuilding. Cylinder walls are honed, smoothing surfaces for optimal piston movement and engine efficiency. The crankshaft is polished, removing imperfections and ensuring smooth rotational performance. Bearings are seated precisely in the block, providing proper support for moving parts. Pistons are reinstalled, sliding smoothly into cylinders, ready for reassembly. Bolts are torqued in sequence, ensuring even pressure and structural integrity. New gaskets are placed carefully, preventing leaks and sealing the engine properly. Refinished valve covers are installed, adding both protection and aesthetic appeal. The engine is painted Chevrolet orange, restoring visual identity and classic styling. The painted engine rests under warm lights, allowing the paint to cure evenly. The undercarriage is pressure washed, removing residual grime before final assembly. Compressed air dries the metal thoroughly, ensuring no moisture remains. Exhaust components are cleaned and polished, ready to be reinstalled. The rebuilt V8 is lowered carefully into the bay, aligning perfectly with mounts. Mount bolts are tightened evenly, securing the engine safely to the chassis. Wiring harnesses are routed precisely, preventing interference and ensuring proper connectivity. Coolant hoses are fitted and clamped securely, preparing for fluid installation. Engine bay surfaces are wiped down and detailed, removing fingerprints and dust for a pristine finish. Brake and fuel lines are reconnected carefully, ensuring safe and functional systems. Fluid reservoirs are filled with fresh oil and coolant, preparing the truck for startup. The rebuilt V8 is visually inspected, gleaming in workshop lighting and ready for ignition. Torque wrenches are used to check all bolts, confirming precision assembly. The engine bay is fully organized, tidy, and visually impressive, reflecting careful work. All moving components are gently tested, ensuring smooth operation and proper fit. Body panels are sanded evenly, preparing surfaces for filler and paint. Body filler is applied carefully to dents, smoothing imperfections on the red Chevrolet CX Series 1972. Sanding restores panels to a level surface, ensuring flawless paint application. Masking tape is applied around edges, protecting areas from overspray and creating sharp lines. Primer is sprayed evenly in controlled passes, covering all repaired areas. The primer coat dries under warm booth lights, forming a smooth base for paint. Panels are lightly sanded after priming, eliminating minor imperfections. Red paint is sprayed in slow, even layers, bringing the truck's color back to life. Additional coats deepen the color, creating uniform coverage and rich gloss. Clear coat is applied carefully, protecting the paint and enhancing shine. Paint cures under soft lighting, reflections sharpening gradually. Edges and panel gaps are inspected for consistency and smoothness. Final sanding and polishing remove any minor dust particles, achieving mirror-like finish. Trim areas are touched up, ensuring no paint overspray remains. Chrome and metal trim are polished to restore brilliance alongside the fresh paint. Workshop lighting highlights the deep gloss of the red Chevrolet CX Series 1972. Every panel is hand-checked, confirming the restoration meets exacting standards. The truck's body now looks factory new, with gleaming red paint and perfect panel alignment. Headlights and taillights are cleaned and polished, adding final visual details. All masked areas are removed, showing a prepared exterior ready for final assembly. Chrome trim is installed carefully, enhancing the classic styling of the 1972 Chevrolet CX Series. The grille is mounted and secured, perfectly aligned with surrounding panels. Headlights and other exterior lights are fitted precisely, reflecting the truck's restored beauty. Interior carpet and seats are reinstalled, returning comfort and functionality to the cabin. Dashboard, steering wheel, and controls are fitted, completing the interior restoration. Exterior panels